On this video, I just want to talk about something that you're going to be fairly familiar with, and that has to do with the x-intercept. So we're looking over here. Make sure you have your foldable in the right direction. So let's write down x-intercept. Okay? So what I'd like to encourage people to do is when I'm looking for the x-intercept, I'm looking for the value of x when y is 0. So every time you see x-intercept, write it down in coordinate form like this. But notice that what's the value of y here? Y is 0 at the x-intercept. So another way of saying x-intercept is also saying y equals 0. And what's another way of saying y? Another way of saying y is f at x. So f at x equals 0. So all of these things I've shown you so far mean exactly the same thing. So you may want to make a little notation to yourself that f at x is the same thing as y. Okay? So just write a little note to yourself so that you remember, and y is 0 at the x-intercept. Okay. So this is what we call all of these things. We call them the zeros. Okay, we call it the zeros of the function. And the reason we call it the zeros of the function is because our y is 0. Okay? Our y is 0. That's why we call it the zero of the function. So, we also call it the solution of the function. Okay, so I put of the function because solution, it changes depending on what you're looking for. So this is of the function, and it's also called root. Okay, so all of these things mean exactly the same thing. So if I say, tell me what the zeros are, you're looking for the x-intercept. Tell me what the roots are, you're looking for the x-intercept. What's the solution of the function? You're looking for the x-intercept. They all mean the same. Okay? So let's go ahead and look inside at our graph. Now notice this was the same graph that we had done on the previous video. So the only thing that I care about on this graph is where my x-intercept will be. So that means I look on my y-axis. So I have to look along my y-axis to find my x-intercept. My y-axis is the line y equals 0. Okay? My x-axis is the line y equals 0. The other way to write y is 0 is f at x is 0. Okay? So that is my x-axis. So all these things mean x-axis. These all mean the same. So let's find our x-intercepts. I have one here, 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 and here. Notice I don't care about any other place except the x-axis. So I'm going to write this point here. I'm going to say that's negative 7.8, and y is 0. This point here, I'm going to say that's negative 4.2, and y is 0. This point here is 0, 0. And this point here is 5, 0. And this point here is 7, 0. These are all my x-intercepts. Okay, they're also my solutions, the roots, the zeros of the function. One more thing I wanted to say. Oh, I just wanted to highlight this. Notice that all of my y's are 0. Okay. the last thing I want to write on here, and then I'm done with this section of the video, is I could write my solutions are x equals negative 7.8, x equals negative 4.2, x equals 0, x equals 5, and x equals 7. So that's another way that I can write my answers.